What's your name, buddy?
Zahar.
And how did you find out about us?
My friend had, because the things that I was starting to tell my friends, he had seen what I was saying.
Yes.
And then he listened to you, and he told me to start listening to you. And yeah, that's how I found out about it.
Good, man. Any questions or disagreement about anything?
No, I don't disagree about anything, but I do relate with a lot of stuff that you're talking about. Like I've started to lose a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I can't even, I can't even work. Like I'm a writer. I do my own illustrations and stuff, and I can't even do writing for studios because they want me to write all this crap in the like that I don't because when I write, I just want to write, stories of good versus evil. I don't want to write subliminal messages that will destroy people like propaganda. I mean, I'm from Russia, and so like my father and their family, they told me about the Soviet Union and all that, and I've started losing a lot of friends because I keep telling them like they support all this like BLM and all that. I keep telling them that this is a terrorist organization, and I keep telling them that fist that everyone is drawing, Hollywood looks like trash. And I keep telling them that's communist propaganda.
Yeah.
And if you look at a lot of the civil rights movement, all that, it's always hijacked by communism, by Marxism.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And so they just call me a racist. They say I'm a white supremacist. All these things.
They call me a white supremacist.
Yeah.
They're like, the white supremacists must love you, Jesse.
Yeah.
You're one of them. I'm like, wow, I finally made it.
Yeah.
I have white privilege all over the place.
That's actually another problem that I have. So I do have to deal with my anger. I'm still mad at my father, but he's dead. He had died 2 years ago, and so all these friends that I've lost. The reason I got into these arguments with them is because they would tell me I have white privilege, and I mean they know my life, and I haven't had I grew up in a integrated neighborhood. I was the only white person, MS neighborhood. I used to get called a Nazi just for being white. My mom used to not like me going out because I would get beat up by all the Mexican kids, just for being white.
So now you hate the Mexicans?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used from.
I went to do a radio show the other day. Have Nick to come in here tell the story better. And this guy that was working the board, he heard my interview, and he was like, mad, a white guy. He was like, so I saw that he was mad. I was like, so I asked, this guy, remember the guy, what happened with that guy?
Yeah, he was the audio guy. He was setting it all up, but you could tell when you came in, he had 2 little dogs, right? And
when I walked in, he had 2 dogs, and they let the dogs come near me. I'm like, get that dog away from me. Don't let your dog lick on me. Sorry.
Pretty much right from the get-go, he was kind of in a bad mood. I'm like, can I film him? Like, no, who told you that could even happen? I'm like, all right, whatever, man. But anyways, you could tell that he had faces.
So I was saying Black Lives Matter is a radical, fat, black, lesbian organization. Yeah. And I was saying no such thing as racism and all that crap, but just spiritual. And he was going through all kind of emotions while the interviewer was talking to me. So afterward, I said, "Do you disagree with anything I say, buddy?" He said, "I don't agree with anything you said." He like, "I grew up in a black community, and black people used to beat me all the time." I'm like, "Now you love him, right?" He hate what he love. Love what he hate. But he couldn't handle it, but you just don't hold anything against them. They can't help it.
No, yeah. That's why I was telling him. I actually had to fight an acquaintance through a friend because he's part of BLM, and he kept saying that I'm degrading his people, and I said, you don't have a people, you are yourself, you are an individual.
Yeah.
And I said you act like a slave mentality person.
Amazing.
And then he started yelling, and I'm not yelling. And then we started fighting, over nothing really.
Yeah.
Because he has so much propaganda in his head.
How old are you?
So I'm 21.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, man. Listen, here's what I recommend. Are you doing the silent prayer, that video?
No.
Okay, do that. Start doing that so God can bring you out of your imagination.
Yeah.
And then forgive your mother. You heard me say that.
Yeah.
And your father, even though he's dead, he couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
He really couldn't help himself. Understanding yourself will help you to understand your father, and that will cause you to forgive him. And then your anger will be taken away from you. You will no longer have anger. You will operate with the power of real love, which comes from God. But you got to forgive for that to happen. All right?
Yeah.
So start doing the silent prayer.
Okay.
You live in L.A.?
Yeah, I live in LA.
Oh, okay. Well, next time you go to Russia, tell Putin I said hello.
Okay. Okay,
right.
for sure, yeah.
You had lunch with him sometime, right?
No, no, no.
But what about your white privilege? Any other questions for me?
No, not right now.
Okay. All right. So welcome, man. I'm glad you're here.